Hello everyone, it's Mr. Vorton here. I hope you're well. I've got some important information to give you about classes and about school reports and about next year. So what I want to start off by talking about is school reports. School reports will be coming out next week. We've written them all. I've written my comments on them all, and there is a group of people currently photocopying all the reports, putting them together, stuffing them in envelopes. And what's going to happen is myself and a few other members of staff have agreed to go around and we're going to actually hand deliver those reports to your houses if you live in the immediate vicinity of the school. There are a couple of people that live a bit further away, and we will endeavour to get those hand posted to you, but if not, they'll be posted out through the Royal Mail. But we aim to get those to you next week, hopefully Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see if we can get them all delivered by then. We don't really want to go into Thursday, so Tuesday and Wednesday if possible. And there are a number of people who have to have two reports because of split families, so we're sorting that out as well. There will be a reply slip in those, or a means of replying to your report. Usually we ask you to fill a slip in and bring the slip back. We're not going to do that. We're going to put a Microsoft form together that we'll email out with a link on, and then you can send us any feedback you want on that report, because unfortunately, as you could imagine, we're not able to have an open day in school where there's anything that you wanted to discuss that you can. Okay, the reports will look slightly different this year. They're the same format, but obviously there's a few little gaps in there because certain topics we haven't studied. And some of the attainment grades are based on where the children were before school closed. And they're not, so it might say that your child is working towards a level. And that's only because we haven't fully covered all of the curriculum this year. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later when we go to talking about restarts. Okay. Also in those reports will be details of where your child is going to be next year and the classes that they're going to be in. Now, the good news is all of the teachers at Three Peaks are here this year are staying. All of the TAs are staying too. And that means that we're going to keep people in the same year groups as they are this year teacher-wise. So we're going to have Mrs. Woodward in nursery. We've got Miss Sandu and Miss Brown in reception. We'll have Miss Bassett and Mrs. Cook in year 1. We'll have Mr. Hoare and Miss Pickering in year 2. Mr. Barton in one of the year 3 classes, along with Miss Gregory and Mrs. Bentley, who share the teaching responsibility for the other class. Then in year 4, we've got Mr. Hughes, and we've also got Mrs. Shelton Smith and Mrs. Watson, who share the responsibility for teaching the year 4 class. Year 5, Mr. Ball and Mr. Birmingham, and year 6, Mr. Imber and Mrs. Mason. But what we're going to do is we're going to let you know in your report whose class you're in. In that report will be a little bit of transition information as well. That will include a letter from the teacher, a letter from myself, details of where you need to come in, where your entrance is, and things that you need, which leads me nicely into next year. And I'm really pleased that we're going to be back in September, bar anything happening over the 6 weeks holiday. And our intention is that we will bring everyone back into school at the same time. We're not going to stagger the start. We're not going to bring some year groups in first and other year groups afterwards. We're going to bring everyone in together. Our initial aim, and I've got to get this signed off, but our initial aim is that everyone will start at the same time too. We're lucky. We've got a huge school site. We're in 3 buildings, so we can disperse children quite easily around the school. Not quite sure what's going to happen at the end of the day yet regarding picking children up, but it will be easy for you to do. It's just that we've got to make sure we don't get too many bottlenecks around the gates on the way out. So we're working on that now, and I'll give you more information on that next week. Children will be coming back into school, and they will be in their school uniforms. Okay, so at the moment we've relaxed the uniform code, but we will be going back to the school uniforms. Now, uniforms are available down at SK Uniforms, and if you go down there, Steve that works in there, if there's anything you need to know, he can help you out. We will be having rules on those sensible shoes that match the school uniform. You will need a PE kit, but we probably won't be using that at the very beginning of the school year because there may be some restrictions about PE, but I'm going to give you more information on that next week. So don't go buying a PE kit just yet, especially because we might be doing something different with regards to PE and PE days. But the amount of PE that we'll be doing will be cut. It's going to be interesting. We're welcome you back. What we're going to do with our curriculum is we're going to make sure that in that first half term, those first 6 weeks, we're going to really push consolidating those basic skills that we've got, which will be related to the year group the children are in, where they needed to be by the end of this current year, so they're ready to start next year. We're going to push that. So we might be doing extra maths lessons, we might be doing extra English lessons, just to put that forward. We might be doing extra read, write, ink with our younger children, just to get them their phonics skills up. We've designed a curriculum here that gives us the flexibility to do that. But I will give you more information on that again next week. But I just wanted to give you a bit of an insight as to where we are with that. So the key points to remember are: reports will be coming out next week. Within those reports will be details of your class teachers for next year. And also, we will be coming back in September, but anything changing, hopefully all coming in at exactly the same time. There may be a slight change, and I mean only a slight change, for leaving times. And we will be bringing uniforms back in. Okay. We've also put together a contingency plan just in case we have to go back to any type of remote learning. It might be because a child goes into self-isolation, or it might be because we have a regional closure of a school. We don't know, but we're putting that together. Anyway, enough of me talking. Got lots of work to do. Busy putting together the risk assessment plans and the return to school plans. But I wanted to give you an update of where we are so far. It's Friday. It looks like the sun's starting to come back out. So hopefully at the weekend it will be there. And then we'll be moving into our last week at school. And I will give you lots of information next week too. So thank you for listening. Have a great time. And we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.